Hi, I'm Rosemary Bakker. I'm a certified interior designer and I have a master's in gerontology. I am totally impassioned about the work I do with older adults, and I live up in Rhinebeck, New York, which is a wonderful farm-to-table location. As a little girl, I was so enthused about interior design. I remember somebody gave me a gift certificate for the Interior Design magazine, and every month I would read it cover to cover, and I felt this sense of passion about uplifting people's lives with beautiful, functional environments. And I saw the power of the environment to help create a mood, to help express your personality, and as a designer, to have like a very large canvas to work on. I had a very personal experience that caused me to shift my career. So I got a phone call one day that my mother had fallen and she had broken her hip. And she had lived in Brooklyn in a single family home with 10 steps to get into the house, no bathroom on the first floor, no ability to live on the first floor, no master bedroom, small hallways. So you can imagine the difficulties and challenges of living in an environment like that when you are coming home and using a wheelchair and then a walker. And I began to ask myself, why aren't we even talking about these things? And this was about 30 years ago. And it was obvious that we were going to have to make some kind of changes to my mother's home. But again, it wasn't in the press. And I thought, more people are turning 65 every day than they are under 21. So we should start thinking about a home for a lifetime. So I thought, I'm going to go back and get a master's in gerontology and combine both careers, because I got very involved and interested in accessibility and some of the movements that were happening, universal design. I went to England. I was touring Lifetime homes. And I thought, what a great shift. I wanted something very meaningful in my life. I love design, but I also wanted to really help people. So I was able to work with older adults who had either mobility challenges, memory challenges, low vision. And I got into my field in the depth that I did following my mother's trajectory. So my mother fell, she was using a walker, she returned to almost full function, but then she got low vision and then she got Alzheimer's. And at every step of the way, I studied to learn firsthand what I could do for her. And then I started becoming an advocate in the field. And what I bring to the field is that I also want to include aesthetics. It has to look good and it has to function. So I still want that, concept of beauty first. So it can be accessible, but you shouldn't know it. So I renovated my own bathroom here. People don't walk in and say, oh, what a beautiful wheelchair accessible bathroom. They walk into a bathroom that feels like a spa. It's spacious, it's got beautiful tiles, but the shower area has a small tile because it offers better non-slip protection, and there's no curb. And I have beautiful wider doors, but they're so stylized in a craftsman design that you don't even know how wide they are. Everything just seems spacious, and you don't bump into anyone if you're using the sink along with a partner. I plan for my own home so I can live here for the rest of my life because I made it accessible. But you don't know that when you walk into my house, because I have a beautiful blue slate winding walkway into my house with no steps. So it just feels a lot easier to go about in my home. What's good for older people is good for younger people also. And it's good for, adults with baby carriages, or, for example, smart home automation can be fabulous for someone like me who's coming into my living room and I have packages in my hand. And regardless of what age you are, if I'm coming into a dark home, I'd rather say, turn the lights on and have the lights come on instead of walking through a dark room. So we're beginning to see more home automation, not only because it's sexy and it's the new thing, but it also can be extremely helpful if you have mobility problems, if you have things in your hand. If, for example, you have low vision and it's hard to read the fonts, but you can just say, turn the microwave on. So it can be hands-free. And if you have, as I said, a visual impairment, makes life so much easier. Most people that I know are getting very savvy that they want to live on the first floor. They want a master bedroom there, an accessible bathroom, and they're making the renovations with larger, doors so that it can accommodate a mobility aid if ever needed. And it also just provides more room. It has a more grand look, like some of the old salons in Paris, for example. There were large hallways and large doorways. So more space is better than less, but better utilized is important too. There are three main types of clients I have. One is the older adult who's thinking maybe of doing a bathroom renovation, and they're now saying, I never want to go to assisted living if possible. And particularly because of COVID-19, a lot of people really want to stay in their homes. They feel safer at home. They feel like they have greater independence and less threat of getting infectious diseases. And so they're saying, okay, I want to stay at home. What should I do? So I get called in as a consultant, and I will talk to them about making their homes usable for the lifetime. And we talk about the flooring and non-glare lighting. We talk about safety issues. And we talk about making sure that you can get a walk-in shower if at all possible, or a shower with the curb. And I talk about adding beauty too. So you can get beautiful curved grab bars if you like, or if you have low vision, you might want to use a fuchsia color or, a beautiful color contrast that's easier to see if you have a visual impairment. And then I have the adult caregiver who's getting nervous about mom and dad because they're having mobility issues. There may be some memory issues there. Sometimes, like I got a call the other day, there's mom and dad living in a four-floor walk-up in Manhattan, or just getting nervous that mom's leaving the stove on. What can we do? And so we now know with technologies there is low temperature burners where you can actually cook a really delicious meal. I've used it for over 2 years, but it can't set anything on fire, even the food within, because it circulates on and off. So we look at safety issues for the parents. We look at fall prevention. We also make sure that there's enough space so they can move around. They wanted to do a model living space for people with dementia and their caregivers. And it was the first of its kind in the country. And because my mother had Alzheimer's, it was something that I really became an advocate for. And I had a wonderful time developing this showroom model space, which is now open to have tours in, and is online too, so you can take a look. So many of them now are being integrated into everyday life. Like we're seeing grab bars that are now towel holders, and they're beautiful. Or grab bars that are integrated into the shower controls. Or you can get a grab bar ledge and you can put shower and shampoo bottles on them. So we're looking for that seamless integration of safety, accessible, good for everyone. I would like to see better design principles being used throughout. We really need more simple, easy to use, plug and play technology. A lot of the smart technologies can be very difficult to use and to set up. And I think we need to pay more attention to designers who make products for more larger font and color contrasting and just more intuitive use. I would like to see more seamless integration and more product testing on people from 20 to 90. A lot of times the people that are testing out products are 20 to 45, and a whole category of users get cuts off because of that. One of the things we need to start exploring as a society, and particularly with the older age set, is to really have a plan A and a plan B. So plan A is you're fine, nothing's going to happen to you, you're going to live to 99 and be in great health. Plan B is, what if that doesn't happen? Aging doesn't come wrapped up in a pretty box with a nice bow on it. Can you get into your home if you were to have some kind of mobility impairment? And are you able to easily get in and out of various rooms that you would need to? And if not, start brainstorming. It's easier to start now. If you're breaking through doorways and enlarging doorways, and you have all that construction dust, easier to do now than doing later on. So what are some of the things you want to do now? And number one, bathroom. Renovate your bathroom to be as accessible as possible, and make sure you have first floor living or the ability to have like a stair climber and go up to the second floor. During COVID, I felt like I needed a new adventure since I was spending so much time at home. So I took up watercoloring. I had never painted before, and after a first few disastrous occurrences, I finally got the feel of watercoloring, and it's one of my greatest joys now. It's an adventure for me because I never know how it's going to turn out. Because when you use watercolors, the colors bleed into each other, and it's a kind of a nuanced art, but I love it. So I now have a new art form in my life that gives me great joy. I have one here just so you can see. I don't know how well you can see it. I've chosen the topic of sky and seascapes. And here is one that I did.